Hey guys, welcome back to Sam Fam.
We headed out to the east side again today, all the way out to Camel Rock.
That's what we call it. I'm not sure if that's what it's actually called.
There's a Samoan name. There's a sign just up the road a little bit. We'll go check on it.
But since we've been here in American Samoa, we've been here a few times with different people and everybody that's called it Camel Rock. This is a really fun spot to go spearfishing. You can kind of see the island behind us there. Right along this side of the island, there's a channel that goes kind of deep, and there's a lot of big fish in there. It can be a little bit treacherous getting out past these waves. I don't know if you guys can see these crazy waves back here behind us. So we're not sure how well it's going to go today. We're going to give it a shot. But once you get out there, you kind of fish in the channel, and out past the channel it gets a little deeper, but there's some big fish out there. And in fact, last time I was out here, I was a little bit too scared to shoot some of the big fish because there were a bunch of black reef tip sharks just circling. I think just waiting for me to shoot one of the fish so they can come in and take it. I didn't feel like I was in a lot of danger, but I didn't really feel like fighting off sharks for a fish. So we'll see how that goes today.
So this is the place where I have shot my one and only fish that I've ever spear gun shot. And
very traumatic experience for her.
It was. I shot a puffer fish, and I had the hardest time getting it back off the spear, and it was awful and horrible, and yes, very traumatic. I've never even tried to shoot a fish ever again, and I don't know if I ever will either.
Those puffer fish are tricky because you just see this big kind of big fish hiding under the reef, and you can't help but think oh, that's something good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get something good there. One. And then you shoot it, and when you pull it out and it's kind of puffed up, you're like, oh no. Now I think they're pretty resilient because I've shot 2 or 3 of them in the 4 years that we've been here, and every time I shoot them, I get the spear out and they kind of go swimming off like nothing happened to them. So
hopefully,
I think you're okay.
I felt horrible.
You should.
I know. All right, we're gonna dive in and see if we can get past those breakers today. All right, here's the deal. I am not gonna go snorkeling out there today. It is pretty crazy out there. I don't know, it doesn't look like that much from here on the beach, but when we got out there closer, yeah, those waves are big and they're crashing hard. Nate went ahead and went for it. So what I'm going to do, I came back up to the beach, got my slippers on. I'm just going to go hike out to Camel Rock, out to the little island, and look from above and see if I can see him. Keep an eye on him, make sure he's safe. But you know what, that's okay, because there are some cool tide pools over on Camel Rock anyway. So now I get to show you that part. So let's go head out there. I just saw a big old eel swimming here in the water. I was about to step in this long black skinny thing, went swimming out of my way. Whew. got a little refresh while I was out there. I don't know if you can see it that well. And then I scraped my knee up a little bit. But all in all, I think I swear every single time we come to Camel Rock, I get scraped up a little bit. It's a fun place, but it definitely has its price that it exacts from anybody who wants to come play here. Look at these tide pools though. These look really nice. I've never come this far back on the island. I've always kind of stopped back there a little ways. I didn't know that these existed here. I still don't see them. Let's keep looking. Yep, that is exactly what I would not want to get caught in. Yikes. All right, we're going to look all the way around. So I came all the way out to the very far point, and I can see all the way around. At this point, I'm thinking he probably already headed back in. I was around the other side, on the side that you would not want to be going through, ever. But to be honest, so this is a little bit how I feel every time Nate goes out spearfishing. He heads out and I'm on shore or I'm back at home, wherever I am, especially when he goes out by himself. I don't worry quite so much when he's got a buddy with him, but when he just goes out on his own, there's always this worry of this could be the time that something happens, he's reckless, or the ocean is strong and the ocean is powerful, and this could be the time that it gets the best of him. And that's just something that goes along with being out, heading out into the ocean. So I don't see him anywhere, so I'm going to make my way back and just say a little prayer that he beat me to it. Otherwise, this video could end a lot differently. But Nate's a smart guy, and he is a competent swimmer. And if nothing else, if he felt that these waves were too big to go in, he would have just swam down, further down the beach to a place where the waves weren't so big. And so I trust him, and he's got a lot of common sense, and we're going to just stay positive and trust that he's just back at shore. I just missed him, and he just realized that the ocean was too strong today, and so he headed it back where I didn't see him. Let's go find Nate. Okay, I made it all the way back up to the front of the island, up like by our actual island. Looking up the beach. Not him, that's our friend Chris. Okay, this is about the time that I do start to get a little nervous. He's not in the deep, or at least I don't see him in the deep. I don't see him in the shallow. Like I said, he might have just realized that this water was too big, too crazy, and just made his way down the beach. It looks like there's definitely some area down there that's not so crazy. So at this point there's nothing to do but just wait. He's always shown up every other time he's gone out. Eventually, I mean, he can stay out for like 3-4 hours and he's cool, he's fine. It's only been maybe an hour so far. So now we wait. Me if you see anything. I feel like I just saw a little something straight out ahead. We're going to keep looking. Hey, where have you been?
That was a close call. You guys were behind me, right? And so it started sucking me out, and it was going so fast that I was like, well, it's okay, I'll just let it take me out. It sucked me out through the Ava, and so I wasn't gonna fight the Ava. I was like, all right, cool, I'm out. It sucked me out, I was clean and clear, I was out there, looked back, didn't see anybody following me, so I hope you guys were okay. But I was like, all right, well, spearfish. Well, I shot at a couple of fish, and but the surge was so big. I mean, I would like look up and just see this mountain of water coming and lifting me up and going back down. I was freaked out by this mountain of water. I'm like, all right, I don't see anybody else out there. I don't like being out here alone. I'm gonna try to come back in. Caught some of it on video, but tried to come back in. I was trying to time the waves, and just got rolled, and it was like, it was getting dangerous. I was running out of energy, and so I was like, all right, I need to get back out. So I went back out to the open water, and I kind of caught my breath, and I was like, you know, there's no way I'm getting in right here. I mean, look at these waves. This is just, that was not a good place to get back in. And so I just decided to start going down until I found a good place to get in. So I went down that way towards Pongo Harbor and tried 3 or 4 more times at different spots, and it was just so big every single place that I just kept on going, and I finally made it almost all the way to the harbor. I swam to the big point, like at the harbor, and kind of came in along the side of the point is where I finally came back in at again. And gingerly crawled over the coral until I finally got to the road, climbed up on the road and walked back. But at one of the points when I got rolled out here, I lost the GoPro. So the thing is, it's on that orange floaty thing. It's got to be out here somewhere.
I'm not going out to find it.
Let's keep an eye open for it though. Let's kind of hang for a while and look and see if we can see it come in anywhere, because we've got good footage on there and it's not cheap. Whew. No, this is definitely the closest I've ever felt like I needed help. And I knew I was okay to swim. I could just swim for a long time and get to someplace safe. But there was this little part of me that was actually kind of hoping that you would maybe call somebody like Harbor Patrol, because I was just like out of energy. And while I could have swum forever, man, I thought like it's just gonna take one wave rolling me really bad for me just to be done with it. So I was like hoping this much that like this boat would come up and be like, hey man, you're okay? We thought you were gone when your wife said that like you disappeared. You're you know, maybe drowned out here or something. And I'd have been like, no, I'm okay. But secretly deep down I would have been like, thank you, let me in that dang boat. But no, I mean, I'm glad I didn't need it. I really was okay. It was one of those things where I was just tired and it was a little bit scary, but like ultimately I knew I was okay. I knew I was going to be able to swim far enough to get in over the reef someplace safe. And my only real worry about this whole thing is that it reinforces for you that next time this happens, I might really be in trouble and need help, and you're gonna be like, no, he always makes it, he'll be fine.
Chris was asking, he was like, should we call Harbor Patrol, the cops? Who should we call? I was like, I mean, Nate does this. He goes out, he'll be out for 3-4 hours, and he always comes back.
So far.
I know.
Well, this isn't like reinforcing my, you know, notion of being immortal and unkillable out in the water or anything like that. This definitely is a learning lesson. When we got here, we looked at those waves and we were like, I mean, those are pretty big waves. I don't think we should be going out here, but you know, we'll go try it. We'll test it out. We'll see how it is. And this is a really good lesson, because next time we come, we see the waves like that, be like, no, it's just not even worth it. We know that like, even if I can get out, and I got out fine, that wasn't the problem. Getting out was like smooth. I just let the Ava take me right out, and it was like nice and calm where I was out there. That wasn't the problem. It was the coming back in, and that's the thing that you don't want to mess with, is trying to get back in.
Well, so I was down on the beach, and Chris, he had driven down the road a little bit to see if he could see you down there, and he comes back and I see him. He's like, hey, he's up here. And I just was like, all right, he did it again. Yeah, I wonder at what point do I call somebody, because my thought was, you know, if you're fine and I've called somebody and they go out there and you're like, yeah, I'm fine. I mean, it's only been what, like an hour? I've gone for way longer than this and you haven't called anybody. But then if I wait, and then it, you know, it could be too late by then. And so it's always a question of, at what point do I call and who do I call?
If you ever feel too freaked out, call. Better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah.
It would be a little embarrassing to get picked up by Harbor Patrol when I'm just out like not having a problem. But I mean, if you're really that freaked out, and I think it's either, it comes down between me being potentially dead or a little bit embarrassed. I guess I'd rather be a little bit embarrassed. So.
Me too.
Well, let's try to find that GoPro.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Well, we spent the last hour or 2 hours out looking for the GoPro. Haven't found it yet, but I think we're gonna come back tomorrow. It'll be a nice kind of Sunday activity to kind of drive the coast a little and get out once in a while when we see an area where it looks like it's kind of a washout, where the tends to wash a lot of debris in. And we actually found one of Melinda's shoes that way one time that she lost. So we're kind of hoping that we might have the same luck with a GoPro.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed for us that we will. We've got some really awesome footage on that thing that we want to share with you guys. So if any of you guys live by the ocean or you walk along the ocean and you happen to see a GoPro and it's attached to this little bright yellow floaty thing, so if you see that floating up or laying up on the shore and you want us to share that footage, we would love to get that GoPro back in case we don't find it.
In the meantime, I think that the lesson we're going to take from today is to know your abilities,
know your limitations,
and to trust your gut, trust your judgment. When you see waves that look too big, if you see something that makes you feel a little uneasy, then trust that part of you and don't say, oh, I can handle it, I can do it. Go ahead and feel free to turn around and go someplace else for the day and say, well, you're going to save this for a different day.
Yeah, the ocean is beautiful and fun, but it is strong and powerful and not something to mess with. It's way stronger than any of us.
If you're like us, you love the ocean, but the ocean doesn't love you. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't care if you live or die, so don't put your faith in it.
So I'm going to take today as a win because I got Nate back, even though we lost the GoPro. I'd much rather have you than a GoPro.
That's good. I guess I'm pretty glad to hear that. Now, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, please subscribe so you can catch all of our adventures that are hopefully not quite this adventurous.
Not quite so dramatic.
Also, leave us a like so we know that you like this video and that we should make more videos like this. Hopefully not exactly like this.
Not like this. Not quite like this.
And leave us a comment below, but
Be
give
nice.
me a break. Yeah. I know it was a stupid thing to do. You don't have to tell me.
Yep, we all learned a lesson here today.
Yeah.
Hopefully us too will go home, teach a lesson to our kids, and hopefully we helped you learn a lesson that you didn't have to learn almost the hard way.
Yeah. Until next time, tofa soifua.
Tofa soifua.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.